Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning, Friday. Friday morning. I'm going to be taking Blitz challenges from all the viewers who have established ratings. Here on lichess and Twitch, you don't have to be a subscriber to challenge me. Just have an active account on lichess.org. Challenge me 5+3 casual. And have an established rating based on 100 or more Blitz games or longer. Alright. Let's see. Getting messages from this guy. Impatience is not a virtue. So, I'm going to take this challenge, 5+3. Guys, gotta be patient. He who plays only bullet chess does not learn patience, I guess. I don't know, man. He's like, "Are we gonna stream today? Are you gonna start? Are you gonna start?" Probably related to the bullet condition. You might want to take some sedatives or something. All right, if you're underage, no sedatives, but you may want to consult a doctor for the hyperactivity. Here we go. Yeah, guys, don't send me annoying messages like 2 minutes before my stream is supposed to start. Like, "Are you streaming today?" That's really irritating. Please don't do that. I'm on the verge of doing like a Thibault and like just blocking everybody from messages on lichess. I notice a lot of people are doing that now. I mean, probably there's so much spam that it's better to just only accept messages from your friends here. Not you, Astrobate. You're one of my friends. No, not you. If you're on my friends list, it's alright. But I get a lot of people like inviting me to their random teams and stuff. What is White doing here? AB5. Pawn takes F6. Maybe B4. Juicebox Wizard. You're my friend, but you're not my Facebook friend. You're not my lichess friend. We're all friends. But like, no, you're not on my friends list. Most people who watch my stream are not on my, they're not on my personal friends list. That's different. I'm gonna take this. Sorry, I don't accept like every random person who hangs out here as my lichess friend. We'd have too many friends that way. And no, the messages are, it's like a South Park episode. The messages are just annoying. If it's really important, send me a message. Basically, I used to be able to, for example, communicate with the creator of lichess. But no longer can we communicate with the creator of lichess because so many people sent him annoying messages that he turned his messages off. See what you did? See, everybody, we've lost our privileges to talk to the creator. What am I supposed to play here? Something very weird about this. Again. Have I lost a piece yet? He's only used 11 seconds. Dude, I'm not going to play you anymore. Seriously. What is going on with this guy? He's played the whole game at 11 seconds. And now he's playing like a master. But then there'll be these crazy blunders. Out of nowhere. He had a forced win, I think. There's something strange going on with this. Now he hung a piece. Like, how can you hang a piece and play that well through the beginning of the game. What is going on? It just doesn't make any sense. 1 minute he's like a 300, and the next minute he's like 2,000. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I need to get this knight back in the game. I'm done playing players like this. I'm serious. If it's just about bullet chess, I don't want to play you. It's like hyper bullet. He's playing hyper bullet against me. 30 seconds or less for the whole game. Why are you doing this? Why did I... You see what I'm doing? I'm like not forking his king and rook. What is the point of this? What is the point of this? Now there's a nasty trick with bishop e2. That's unbelievable. It's like a mate with bishop e2 check, almost. Knight g1, bishop b2 check, f6. Knight takes f6, knight takes f6, bishop takes f6. That's kind of messy, you know? This is just the weirdest thing ever. There's something completely wrong about this. Last game, dude. Just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. Something is wrong here. Why is white doing this? He's playing hyper bullet against me. I think that move like wins for white or something. See what I'm talking about? I'm just not going to play this player anymore. There's something too weird about it. He's used the whole game in 15 seconds, and now he's got like winning move with knight g6. It's not just fast. I mean, I think that white is actually maybe better now. I'm just not going to do this anymore. It's insane and ridiculous. I'm winning apparently, but it's a complete waste of time. This goes against everything I do. I am not going to play you anymore. It's a complete and utter waste of time, dude. Seriously. He's wasting legitimate time here. Alright, next game. It's insane, dude. What are you doing? It's a complete waste of time. Please don't challenge me if you're going to play hyper bullet chess. You're in the wrong stream. Let's try to play some serious games. I'm just not going to waste my time anymore. It just pisses me off that you're destroying chess. Alright, I'm gonna try to forget about it. It just disturbs me, you know. I don't play bullet. I don't want to play bullet. I don't want to play against opponents who are using 30 seconds for the whole game. He's 300 rated in one move, and then he's like 2,000 on the next. Like, what is going on with that? I don't know. I'm like up a piece. I'm not even sure if I'm winning at the end. Because it's so disturbing. It's not even chess. Alright, 10-year-old now is taking too long. Where did you go? Did you get disconnected? He actually made it an accuracy. c5 is a mistake, but I was too flustered from the first game. I'll just resign. I don't want to, like, play into that anymore. I should have played d5. This is a game from the Capablanca, the first round of Capablanca versus Alekhine World Championship match. Alekhine lost really badly. It's just that, man, I just started my stream. The guy was already messaging me before the stream started. Are you going to start? Are you going to start? Are you going to start? Like, before I even started my stream, I'm getting messages about that. And then he plays a hyper bullet game against me. He was even rushing me before the stream even started. I'm a little more tolerant after I woke up, but it's like, I just woke up. And that's the first thing I get. But it's not like it's a random player who just came to my stream for the first time. I told him like 1,000 times not to play bullet chess. I don't want to play bullet chess in my simuls or whatever. Yeah, this is interesting. Maybe knight b5. Yeah. And his name is Justin Bieber, and he lives in Hollywood, California. Of course the guy doesn't have a FIDE rating. No. Nothing that people put in their profiles is like real. Man, I drank like half my coffee and I started getting messages about, are you gonna stream? Are you gonna stream? Man, I hate it when people rush me. Like, I like to take my time when I'm eating. I'm constantly in time pressure. Especially in the morning, though, when I haven't even time to wake up. It's hard to just get into gear. You don't live in Reunion? Well, you're close, right? You're some tropical paradise somewhere. Juicebox Wizard. Actually, I'm the only person that actually put his real rating on his lichess account. But I don't know, now it's like a joke, man. I get this one guy who plays Hyper Bullet, and now 10-year-old is for some reason using all his time. I don't mean like you have to spend all your time, just don't play Hyper Bullet. Why is 10-year-old... He's actually pretty fast last time I played him. It's like you're overcompensating for the last guy. Hey, what's up, Miro? Please just don't play Hyper Bullet against me. Or if you do, you know, be a strong player, not playing ridiculous moves like hanging pieces. But yeah, it's weird because 10-year-old has normally been really fast. Now he's like taking a lot of time. Can't make me happy. He's suspiciously slow. I haven't played this player in a while. Last time it was pretty quick. Yeah, he's like the opposite of last game. But he thought like a long time on certain moves. Is this actually working for me? Yeah, I used to think that the guy was some... You know, you develop fantasies about different people. Like, you play 100 games of them and try to picture what they look like and who they are. And we always joked about whether 10-year-old was 10 years old or he liked scotch. Unclear. But he got really fast at one point, and I started to think, okay, this can't be an old guy. My theory was like, I don't mind if people play fast, but have an idea of what you're doing. You know, World Loser plays fast. He occasionally blunders, but you know, it's not like nonsense. We've got a lot of people who like to play bullet on my stream, but they're not playing like nonsense moves. The last game was like ridiculous. I couldn't even go on anymore. Why would you like go to my stream if you like hyperbolic chess? I don't understand. Why would anybody watch my stream if they're into hyperbolic? It doesn't make sense, you know? Alright. After the last game, everything seems slow. I had a really bad day today because of Windows already. First of all, I had to help my son fix some password. I guess that was messed up by Windows Update. And then my like password manager wouldn't work because of some complicating feature of the new update by Windows. I just love it. I love Windows. Bishop d6. See, if I have a little bit of time to think, I can actually come up with a good move. Look at this. That required thought. You can't do that if you play Ultra Bullet, or maybe once in a while you get lucky. I have a brother? No. Do you want one? Well, I have a lot of brothers from my college fraternity, actually. So I have like hundreds, literally. Prem constantly says Slaggy bro. But he's not even one of my brothers. My college fraternity got its charter reinstated. They had been like banned for a long time or something. I don't know why. That was after my time. Alright. Anyway. Bishop takes c5. When my rook feels stuck, let's play this. I don't want my rook to get jammed on c6 with like rook d7 and it can't move anyway. A man of culture. Camel Culture was here yesterday. He's literally a man of culture. So now we see an increased speed. I think 10-year-old was like doing his taxes or something during the first 12 moves of the game. Now he's good to go. Okay, so take knight c6 doesn't work. That's amazing. He's got the bishop f8 guarding the back rank weakness. That is so annoying. Man. We're still better. If you Google Temple OS, making fun of brilliant programmers with schizophrenia. So here, rook d8. I don't know, man. This is not an easy game. Easy freaking game, huh? I give up. I give up. Nobody is like beatable. Yeah, again, I am skeptical. He was just playing slower in the beginning so I wouldn't get mad. He thinks I freak out if anybody's like got more time than me or something. Really, the first game is an anomaly. I don't mind if you play fast. Play as fast as you want, but just you know, don't do the ultra bullet thing and play like horrendous moves one after another. Damn. And he's got good technique. But that's the scariest thing, that he's from Azerbaijan. Of course, you can't believe it. You're from Reunion Island, right? You can't believe anybody where they're actually from. I think he's really from Azerbaijan, though, because he never changed it. But the point is, you got players like Mamajarov. The chess culture in Azerbaijan is extremely high level. I mean, that's my point. You know? You got players that are so strong it's ridiculous. Everyone in Azerbaijan is good. So what does that mean for this? Look at his technique. Maybe I'm going to win somehow. There's another angle here. Rook here. Barely. He actually lost on time. Well, he's got rook c4, but then he loses eventually to rook e7. I mean, I don't know. Why not rook d2, though? Rook d2 where? When did you want me to play rook d2? Yeah, but I mean, that leaves my rook pretty restricted. I was always better at the end. I guess it was alright. I finally was like, oh, okay, I can't play rook c4. He can play rook c4. That's not a good square. He's got to lose a pawn here. For a moment, he was better. Wow. May Sarosh Florian? Never heard of him. He must be Austrian. It's Hungarian from Austria. Habsburg monarchy, but it's normally MESC. Very Hungarian name. All right, back to the list here. No hyper bullet chess. Good game by Black there, but not an easy end game. I think he has to lose the d pawn and try to draw the rook end game. You know. But the time was weird. It was like 10-year-old used up his time doing what in the beginning? It was like he was giving me time odds to compensate for the last guy. I think if he actually had all his time, he might have held a draw. Alright, we're just taking challenges from everybody. Good stream yesterday. Thanks for the hype train. Do we have a hype train conductor? Juicebox Wizard. You should have gotten a gift sub yesterday. There were lots of gift subs yesterday. Surprised you didn't get one. Bad luck. You ordered a cheesesteak hoagie in Vegas? Oh, that's criminal. Cheesesteak hoagie? You can't have a cheesesteak hoagie, man. There are two separate entities. Hey Smiro says I'm dieting. Don't say things like that. Yeah, don't say things like that, period. There was a guy from Philly on my stream the other day, and he started mentioning hoagies and cheesesteaks. But you can't have a cheesesteak hoagie. You know, a hoagie is like an Italian sub with cold cuts and lettuce and stuff like that. A cheesesteak is a sub sandwich with steak and cheese. They are not the same thing. Juicebox Wizard. Man, you're always a friend of the stream. Whether a subscriber or not, you're welcome to challenge me, man. Alright. Bishop d2 is standard. I have the money, but I usually withdraw everything. It's a good thing you're not in Myanmar. You never went into Myanmar, right? I mean, you're close. Did you ever travel there, by the way? You've been like everywhere in Southeast Asia, haven't you? There's like Americans that are stuck there in like torture hell. That's pretty scary. Just when you thought like things couldn't get worse, you've been to Burma. Mission of Burma. That was a rock band. I don't know if they're still around. Alright. They're getting old like me. So rook d1. It was a pretty cool place. I can't talk. I try to think and teach other people to think. Black is playing a thoughtful game. I'm playing a thoughtful game. This is what chess is meant to be. Knight e5, interesting move. Off to the side of the board, however. We're a little skeptical about that. Do I like this exchange? It's an interesting question. I was just making fun of Mr. Coffee for making an incorrect exchange yesterday. But here, if I play knight e5, for example, he's liquidating a lot of stuff. Knight e5, knight c4, knight c4, bishop takes c4, bishop c6. White's very slightly better, but it doesn't look like much. I saw you can rent a house in Lesbos on Airbnb, $400 a month with an oceanside view. Wow. Never been to Greek islands. Have you? Yeah, I know about the refugee crisis, but that seems like it comes and goes. So is it really bad there in Lesbos now still? They have the refugee camp, they burned it down, right? That was the scandal. It had been burned down by like angry residents or something in Lesbos. So is that like a joke or a real Airbnb? Do they actually have like Airbnbs and tourism in Lesbos? I really don't know anything. They have something like 4,000 Afghani refugees there. Right, well I mean I just remember last, I don't know, 6 months ago when there was that story about their refugee camp getting destroyed. It wasn't clear who set it on fire or whatever. They tried to make it look like an accident or something. Alright, so what's up? This is an interesting game, knight a5. It's an unusual plan. I think like most commonly, black will take here eventually. He can also play stuff like a6. Black's taking too much time, like my last opponent. I think you should take as much time as you need in general, but in this time control, 5+3, we can't use this much time. The art of time management. What's happening on like a3? Just simply do it. Just occurred to me he can go back to d6. I am really not calculating. If bishop d6, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, bishop takes a5, bishop takes e5, pawn takes, queen takes. He played the lazy move. And this is what I was originally expecting. And white is slightly better. But not much, actually. Maybe I misplayed this. Wow. I might even be without any advantage here. These two knights look pretty good. Did anyone else have trouble with their Windows update? It was doing weird things for me. Now I have this annoying partly sunny on the bottom of my with the news tab, which I really want to make it go away, but I don't know how to get rid of it. Go away. That's obnoxious. Microsoft has put this idiotic thing in my taskbar that I can't get rid of. Does anyone know how to get rid of that? Get it out of my taskbar. I mean, black is 1400. Damn, dude, you're underrated. What does prostitution have to do with money? Juicebox Wizard. Damn. Right click on taskbar, news, turn off. News and interests, turn off. Nice. Thank you. I take back. Wow, long time no see. Man, you're an expert. How do you know this? It's like a brand new feature. This is the first day it's been on my screen. He knows how to turn it off. That is tremendous. Good job. I take back. Not only coming back to the stream for the first time in a long time, but immediately troubleshooting my Microsoft tech problems. These are nice knights. It's a subtle game by black. Yeah, maybe he's worse, but not so easy. And the Nimzo stylus. Classic. This doesn't really do anything. It might make my position worse, though. You're definitely not 1400. Man. This is a tough game. Wow. He's a Nimzo expert. Yeah, this doesn't do anything. Wow, instantly Queen F6. I don't know what his deal is, but he's not a 1400. It's too strong. How could your blitz rating be 1400? You're playing like the black side of a subtle Nimzo. This is crazy. And you're fast too? Yes. I want a piece. Unbelievable. I didn't even see it, that it worked, actually. He plays a subtle game. It's hard to play this kind of Nimzo, man, in a closed position. It's inconceivable that black could be 1400. You're like twice as good as any 1400 I've ever seen. Lichess 1400 is much weaker than like US 1400 or FIDE 1400. We're talking about lichess ratings, which are really, really inflated. Yeah, maybe you could be 1400 FIDE or 1400 USCF, but not 1400 lichess. You're just too strong. You're like probably around 1700 USCF, judging by your play there, which would make you more like a 1900 by lichess rating. Judging by your play. Sots, we've played before with the wrong time control, 3+1. He challenged me to 3+1. No. Sots, you have challenged me to 5+3. It does say it at the bottom of the screen, right? Oh, I didn't put it in there. I'm sorry, guys. See, I was getting those messages annoying me this morning before I was ready to stream. Are you gonna start? Are you gonna start? And then I didn't put the text right. And so Sots doesn't know the right time control. You guys are supposed to challenge at 5+3. I apologize, though. Normally I put that on the bottom of the screen. I always make sure to put the time control that you're supposed to challenge. Today, however, I forgot. Yeah, I mean, you're playing a subtle game there with black. Maybe not the easiest kind of line to play in a Blitz game. But I mean, you're nowhere near 1400. You'd be at least 1800 on lichess. You play like that. The site that should now be mentioned. Yeah, we don't mention that. Play like Kasparov. Oh, it's gonna get tougher before it gets easier. Bromance. Alright. Bromance, let's go. What are we gonna do? Let's try something different. Sots is you? You're watching the stream. You see everybody else is challenging 5+3. I'm not just taking random time controls. Why would we play on lichess if we liked chess.com? Chess.com is the ugliest, most horrible chess site ever. It makes me want to vomit every time I see it. Plus, I don't really like the people who created it. And it's so commercial and awful. It just makes me want to puke. So if you're curious how I felt about it, that pretty much sums it up. The AARP has a game section of their website with chess? Are you serious? That's funny, man. They're really aggressive. Dio Nut 2255 is rating with a party of 4. Dio Nut. Dio is I guess Dios are walnuts. It's like walnut in Hungarian. Thanks to the raid, 4 players. Four viewers. Rating party from Dio Nut. Reminds me of Plants vs. Zombies when I think of walnuts. That was a great game, huh? Great time killer. The original Plants vs. Zombies. My son was playing that for the first time in like 4 years the other day. He got addicted to it for like 2 days. Oh, Romanian. Yeah, there's a lot of crossover. My Hungarian seems to be getting better every time. No, it's been, since I never leave the house, my Hungarian's probably gotten worse. I used to speak in Hungarian when I played poker with a lot of people who don't necessarily speak English. But I haven't been playing live poker, and that's my only real... I mean, sometimes the chess players... In general, the chess players seem to have more language skills than the poker players I hang out with. I don't know if they're just used to more international peoples in the games. Wow, this is a nice setup by White. Are you still in lockdown conditions? No. The lockdown is ended here. And I finally got my vaccine. I'm going to get my second shot in like a week. Right. I called him Dio Nut, but he's Yo Nut is like a Romanian name. That's another possibility. Thanks for that, Asterbait. He's probably one of the Romanian players that follows some of the other friends I have here, like Baratoshi Daniel or Merchea the Beast. Back to Over the Board. I'm playing in July in a tournament in Budapest. I'm not going to travel anywhere out of the country or anything. But I am going to go back to playing Over the Board chess for the first time since the pandemic. Well, almost, right? I played last October. Play like Kasparov is now with ultra positional style. New improved ultra positional style. Note, I did not castle. It's like playing, I don't know, Sammy Reshevsky with White or something. Now, it's funny because I always thought of Play like Kasparov more strong tactically. This is a tense position. Hard to say who's better. Asterbait is a good player, very insightful. What is going on? This is the Yabatis defense, by the way. Be very afraid. One of our viewers who helps with my subscriber stream on Thursdays, Yobates, likes to play this stuff with both colors, so I've been sort of... Maybe this was a mistake. I should have played Bishop F7. Now I don't regret it. Should I take with the knight here? There is this almost, let's see, 6 pieces on that diagonal. What a diagonal. Nice diagonal. Crazy situation, right? What is going on around here? You got an anonymous gift sub. Nice. Yesterday, a very good player, insightful. Oh, DU not 2255. Is he 2255? $22.55 FIDE. 22.55 lichess. Active pieces. My friend Sitash Gabor would say, the active player never cries. Only a Caro-Kann player would say that. Most players think of the Caro-Kann as like passive and stodgy. Bijak is like Queen H4 looks like a Caro-Kann move. You romanticized your own opening. He found it. Best move. Absolutely, positively. So what do you do now here? Should I just take his bishop? But he is a supreme defender. The Supremes. Man, I didn't see c5. You know, I never even considered moving it because it sort of glues everything together. You just like have certain subsets of possibilities in your mind, and c6 is so important to like holding my stupid center together that I never even considered moving it forward. But I was joking yesterday about something. About this one game we saw where all players missed the strong move and they were all 2200s. You got to be a certain level to think outside the box. That was the point I was trying to make. Oh, you can just do that. See, the c5 would have come in handy because of all this nicety here. The niceness of that diagonal. c5. Normally, like, play like Kasparov never misses a tactic. This is the first time he's ever missed a tactic in the game against me, I think. He had bishop takes e4 there and missed it. Very uncharacteristic. Nah, he has bishop e4. He's actually doing fine. I guess like bishop takes e4 castles queenside, and it's not clear who's better. What's wrong with bishop takes e4? Yeah, he has to play it. Castles queenside. Bishop d3. And I'm still better. You were doing fine with the positional chess. You know, although, I mean, you might want to castle kingside, honestly. Prem. I think you can just castle kingside. You don't have to be, like, ultra violent all the time. Maybe you play g4 on move 40, you know. If you look at some of the games by really strong positional players, Ivan Farago, Hungarian GM I know, used to play structures like this really well. Reshevsky, Sarawan. I mean, you don't have to try to like kill me right away by castling queenside. You can play a really long sort of game where eventually later you'll play g4 or something. Okay, it's not easy, but you were doing well. Here I thought maybe I made a mistake. I should have played bishop f7. Yeah, this was dumb. This was dumb. Probably you shouldn't play knight d4. I thought knight a4. You have a blockade. You have blockade chances with these squares, like here, here. Although your rook's on a1, you know, that's kind of weird. You should have moved the rook already. All right, we got challenges. Let's keep going. I'm streaming till 1:30. We have an hour and a half. But I think because Prem 666 is playing the h3 type of ideas, he became set on castling queenside, but you don't have to play like that, you know, there. You maybe have to set your sights a little bit like lower, not trying to like annihilate the opponent necessarily, but just slowly grinding them down with a slight advantage. I mean, if you want to annihilate the opponent, I guess you should play e4. I don't know. No, but it was fine. Too many challenges. Yeah, I mean, we've got time for another hour of challenges. Yeah, f4 is a good move there. Oh, man, I don't know this variation. I don't really play the Grunfeld. My theory of the Grunfeld, like, I basically quit playing the Grunfeld when this move started to be popular 30 years ago. So I don't remember. I guess I'm supposed to play Queen a5 here. Knight f3 never had a huge following, though this was played in Karpov-Kasparov, I believe, in 1990. Maybe I'm supposed to do like bishop g4? Okay, I don't know. I never continued to play the Grunfeld after 1990. I think this is still book. I never played this line with white either, and I've played a lot of different lines with white, but this is not one of them. Then white has either rook b1 or rook c1, or rook d1. I'm not sure about rook d1, but I guess he wants to take with a rook on d2. You gave up the Grunfeld already? That was kind of quick. I mean, rook b1 idea, rook b5, and rook takes b7 if I move my bishop, obviously. Yeah, but this looks really solid for white. So if I play like knight to c6, that's fine, no? Nothing wrong with that. See, the problem with the rook placement, right, is that on b1 it menaces me here. On c1 it would like protect c3 in some variations. So if I play knight c6, he can go d5. But here he doesn't have that luxury either. So he has to worry about this. He can't push the pawn because his rook's on d1. He doesn't have this annoying stuff like rook b5. No, I think the Grunfeld is a healthy opening, B-Jack. You didn't give it enough of a chance. You didn't give it a fair chance. I played it for like a few years. I don't know really why I quit. I just like the King's Indian better. There was nothing really wrong with the Grunfeld. I didn't quit it because it was like horrible or something. I just went on to other openings. That's about the time when I quit playing the Grunfeld, actually, after that Kasparov-Karpov match. It was becoming kind of problematic that it was so popular. You know, I don't really like playing something that's so ridiculously popular. What about rook d8? Do you play d5? I take on f3, you take, I take your pawn on c3? You can't do that. Can you? So I just increase the pressure on the center. Oh, okay, you played white. I didn't know that Zen Chess played the Grunfeld. Queen's Gambit is much easier to play. You can figure out the moves over the board even if you don't know the theory. Not so easy to do in Grunfeld. Wow, Queen b2. Look at that. Now what do I do? Well, I guess I just have to take everything. Should I take here first? Realistically, I guess bishop takes f3 is more forcing. So he's basically trading his d pawn for the b pawn. And then we both have weak pawns here and here. It's very likely to be opposite color bishops. Maybe not. I could take the bishop on d4. For example, cd5, I mean cd4, bishop f3, bishop takes d4. Queen takes b7, bishop takes c3. Queen takes c6, opposite color bishops. A lot of drawish positions. But I don't have anything else. I mean, do I have knight takes d4? No. Like, I literally have to play this. And the question is, like, what do you want to do now? Maybe the Grunfeld is a forced draw in a lot of variations. That's one drawback. There are very difficult lines to play for a win. This type of position, for example. How do I play for a win? Maybe bishop takes d4, queen takes, and then something like queen b6. There's some complications. Knight takes d4, bishop takes d4. I'm hallucinating. The whole time I've been hallucinating that I can take on d4. This is like 1, 2, 3. 3 pieces are defending. So come up with another idea, will you? Queen b6 is a quadruple attack. e5 drops the pawn. It's funny how all the time I was miscounting. But I'm glad you guys didn't point it out. Kasparov is back at classical chess. Rolls eyes. Kasparov is back in the business world. He kind of reminds me of like a political candidate who wasn't relevant for a while, and he's like, why is he suddenly so quiet politically? Then he's interested in chess again. Maybe he's like been threatened or something. Stay out of politics or we'll eliminate you. He wrote a couple of Washington Post sort of articles in the not so distant past. So I ended up losing a pawn. Wow. It's kind of disturbing. We could do a Hey It's Miro variation. This game disturbs me. Don't like you anymore. What? He's like God. It's been like a perfect game by White. And he also didn't have to use any time to play a perfect game. Maybe I can win a pawn back. White's still better. Now he's starting to come very slightly unglued, but probably not enough to lose. But I was momentarily concerned that I might be seriously worse. I think I was seriously worse. But he's playing too fast now. The Achilles heel of the young Blitz players. Playing too fast and no endgame technique. So basically, you have a player who probably could or should be like 2200 plus, but he's handicapping himself by playing too fast. Now we're better, but is it enough? It's a big question. Ah, he blundered now. He had to go after my b-pawn right there. Yeah, it's just a problem with playing too fast. Maybe you just don't play increment, and so you're not used to it. If you play just 5-0, you have no clue how to handle this time control. I agree, in-game technique is not easy. But for a player who's over 2,000 here, he played the first part of the game so well. It's not really as much endgame technique as just not managing his time properly, you know, I would think. A little endgame technique helps too. But I think this player's problem isn't that as much as time management. Alright, I was in trouble. Like, I was close to lost, it looks like. I don't know the theory. So apparently it was drawn at move 33. Well, I was, yeah. Even now it's still a draw. You could have attacked my b-pawn. But you were clearly better at this point. Pawn up for white. Was f5 a good move? Maybe not the best. So anyway, I don't know what I did wrong in the opening. Why is there no games? Weird. That's really weird. So you have no games here. So rook d1 is just not played. Wow. Nobody plays rook d1. Just rook b1 and rook c1, which I mentioned. But I mean, it's not that bad. So rook d1 is not that bad. Ron Young. There's a Facebook friend of mine from the Marshall Chess Club. He used to be the manager of the Marshall Chess Club. b6. Ron played b6. FIDE master. But it looks like my move is more logical. So this is amazing, a new position. Now we've got some games. Soren Beck-Hansen against Bjorn Brink-Clausen, 1991. Castles, rook fd8, and then white played queen b2. So this is where I screwed up. I played c takes d, but I should play queen b6 first. There's a game from 1999, Claudius Urban, who's a really solid Polish, like IM or GM. Claudius. Alright. Once 9-6. See, here's an example of a player who plays fast, but he's not ridiculous like my first opponent. This player plays fast within reason, you know. He's a bullet player, but he's not trying to play just any garbage move in 3 seconds or 1 second or less. The first game today drove me crazy. I just resigned. I guess what was a winning position, but I didn't know. I just was tired of it. I don't mind if you guys play fast. This is not a simul, but please don't play like ridiculous style. Alright, so c5? No. How are we doing on the stream? Thanks everybody for the hype train yesterday. I try to be serious here, so if I play ultra bullet with someone, it basically calls into question the entire purpose of my stream. I can't do that. Bishop g5 and then e3. c5, bishop f6. I had a game like this myself. c5, bishop f6, knight takes d5. Can I do this? Is this a blunder? Now what? cd4? Knight d4? I had a game with Wojtkiewicz like this once, where I realized, like, if you play queen takes d4, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, bishop takes c3 check, I have to reconstruct that somehow. Yeah, he's just the same as the first guy, but not as bad. You know, you're the same thing. You're doing the same thing though. You're just playing like ridiculously fast, without even thinking about your moves. Not quite as bad as the first guy, but it's the same disease basically. Why? Why? You know, that's all I need to ask. Why? ADD. Check. Queen d2. I'm not sure if that helps me, but I gotta do something. How about bishop e6 actually? Now my bishop becomes a target. Bishop e6, take, take. It's interesting. Yeah, but I don't think the Grunfeld is the easiest opening to play just the logical moves, like some others. Bishop takes b2, bishop takes f8. I get it. He's gonna play queen. Sorry, bishop a3. Guess I got nothing. Unbelievable. Same thing as the first player. He's able to make instantaneous moves and he's only 1800. And I've got nothing. He played 13 seconds for the whole game, rated 1800. He must just hang pieces. But why can't you take your time on your moves? Why not think instead of playing instantaneous moves? I don't understand it. Why not use your time? Imagine how good you could be if you can play with 13 seconds against an IM. You just hung a piece. I don't know. But they're not like the first time these guys have played on my stream. I guess some people, it's like our culture, the modern culture. We want everything like now. Food delivery, live streaming. Jokes about ADD aside, I was thinking maybe it would be cool to like get a real book and be on a desert island and like read it or something. There was a study that just posted on Reddit that said you blunder more when you spend more time. Look, Miro, there's an old joke. Think a lot. No, I forgot it. It helps if you don't have Alzheimer's. Long think, wrong think. That's one example. There's a couple different expressions. Obviously, there's some truth to that. If you're like thinking in circles, going into the tank, so to speak, overthinking is a thing, definitely. Another example of learning to try to play with your instinct is an interesting training mechanism. Like, I have the book Dynamic Chess Strategy by Mikhail Suba, which I recommend. He's a creative thinker. By the way, b6 is not really a good move. I wonder if I can play e4 here. But he did this experiment once where he went to some Olympiad, or he was at some chess festival where there was more than one tournament going on. He did an experiment where he said he basically played in 2 tournaments at once. He decided to test his theory that he could play just as well virtually playing the first move that came in his head. I mean, Suba is kind of eccentric. So that was his concept. He tried it out where he played in 2 tournaments at the same time somehow, where he was just playing literally like almost the first move that instinctually came in his mind. Basically, he wanted to try to play like 100% on intuition, virtually no calculation at all. He did an experiment like that, and I guess he did all right, and he had a good result, and maybe even like won one of the tournaments. I think it's an excellent training tool, honestly. But everything I say is from the perspective of a serious tournament player. Like, when I'm criticizing people for like not thinking and playing Ultra Bullet, do that if you're not serious about chess, no problem. You know, you like that. I'm talking about people who are trying to be really good at chess. You know, I'm trying to teach people to be really good at chess. But to get back to what Mira was saying, I think that is true. You know, you can think in circles and waste your time and actually confuse yourself if you think too long. And the other side of the argument is that developing your sense of intuition is really important, you know. So you can do that in a controlled way. I think it'd be very useful. Yeah, but I mean, I think this position I've had before. I think e4 was theory, not theory, but like e4 wins, doesn't it? Nenad Sulava, Ivan Farago, those guys are people I've played. Yeah, you see, this is the move. Slaggy knows everything. You see that? +4. But Sulava, he was an IM at the time in 1992. And I don't get Farago Ivan's rating in 1994. That doesn't seem right. I don't know how Ivan was down to 2375 in 1994. He's like 2375 now, and he's like 80. How could he have been 2375 in 1994? That's practically impossible. That must just be a mistake. Ivan was like forever over 2400. I guess it happens, but anyway, so none of those guys knew about this move, just the Slaggy. But the position has arisen before. I've tried to tell people this is the worst way to solve the problem on the queen side. Basically, b6 contributes nothing to black's position. You're not developing any pieces and you're weakening your structure. It would be better to just like lose the pawn, you know. So if you played like knight c6, queen takes b7, even bishop d7, knight b5 or c8, this doesn't look that bad actually. Anything's better than what black did here. b6 is literally the worst move. But I had Blitz sessions with this guy in Harvard Square who used to play queen b6. I've told the story like a million times. Like week in and week out, we had these games for money where he would do this and play this endgame, and he did understand that black is virtually lost in this position. +1. plus 1.6. No, this is no good. You can't play bishop f5. Bishop f5 is a mistake. It's a well-known mistake. It's been known for 100 years that this move is a mistake. That's why you have to play d takes c4 in the mainline Slav. In order to recapture this pawn, you know, I'll have to give black time to play bishop f5. That's the long variation of the Slav. If bishop f5 was a good move, man, everybody would play it. Alright. Hey, it's Miro. Yeah, that's a common line with people who don't know theory. That's why I know that cold, because I've had numerous Blitz games. Hey, it's Miro is tough. Let's try the French. I never played the French. I've been kind of interested in it, and I started a new video series. I'm actually analyzing Korchnoy's match against Spassky from 1970. That was a favorite book of mine. Actually, Korchnoy, I have a complete collection of most of his games. They're unannotated, though. Like a Russian soft cover. I don't know where I got it from. I was analyzing all of Korchnoy's games years ago. Alright, hey, it's Miro. Yeah, well, he's not going to allow the winnower, I guess. Do you recommend Anish Giri? Anish Giri on what? On the French defense? Did we play this already? They're gonna have to pay me for advertising. I'm sorry, Asif. I have to get a cut of the advertising to recommend Chessable. I can't say anything positive or negative about Chessable. I have no opinion. We haven't gotten our cut of the advertising money. Knight c6. So this is yeah, Tarash French is solid for white. Karpov. Speaking of Karpov, that's actually a good idea. After I do the series on the Korchnoy Spassky candidates final, what we should really do is a series on the Karpov Korchnoy World Championship match. There were two, right? I've never really analyzed Karpov Korchnoy's games. A few here and there. I like them both, but I never systematically studied those. Alright, I mean, what choice do I have here? Is this an inaccurate opening by one of us, somehow? Is bishop e5 right there? I have suspicions. You're supposed to play knight takes c6, I think, and go into a Sicilian style. But what appeals to me about this line is that it's very Sicilian-like. I have John Watson's old book on the French, latest edition from like 2001, and he recommended c5. I mean, as a Sicilian player, I can see some familiar ideas when I play with like c5 on move 3 against Tarash. For me, it's harder to play against the winnower because I don't know what I'm doing. The winnower, or you know, knight c3 is not like the Sicilian. Black can't play c5. You can, but it's what, like the Marshall defense or something crappy. Why are all of Marshall's defenses bad? He was a coffee house blitz hustler, I guess. 78 and 81. So Karpov and Korchnoy. The first match in 78, after he beat Spassky, Korchnoy beat Spassky. One of them was called Massacre in Murano. I guess Raymond Keane did. That was Raymond Keane era. Kasparov has done a good job analyzing, his predecessors in his series. So there's a lot of stuff. Like if you look at Kasparov's predecessor series, he discusses quite a few games with Karpov and Korchnoi, but still that's just a very small selection. So this is a highly creative move by White. I would anticipate bishop d3 back to the center, but he just plays bishop a4. Interesting. So what do I do? What do I do? Knight f6, e5. How do I solve my development problem? Bishop c5. We could run into troubles. Trouble Stiltskin. Not obvious to me what the move is here. Queen h4. I know you're thinking, Sumaher, this is a typical Caro-Kann move. No, I'm just joking around. No, the problem is knight f6, e5. What do you do? Do you go back to g8? What's that? We're going to play knight e4 and let him smash our structure. I don't understand what I'm supposed to play. Bishop c5 is risky too, but we'll probably have to try something along those lines. If bishop c5, knight b3, bishop e6, queen g4. Man, that's a weird position. What the heck is going on there? Heck! Hey, there's queen g5 for black, but what would I do? On the next move, what am I going to do? That's ridiculous. So, I don't know, guys. Knight e7, knight g6, knight e7 castles, knight g6. Looks awful. Man, this is lame. I don't get it. What am I supposed to play? Bishop c5 looked risky, knight f6 looks wrong, and so I'm stuck with knight e7. What am I missing there? I mean, it's even possible to play like c5, but what is my plan? What am I doing? Good lord. Lordy! This is bad. I guess the bishop c5 was the right idea. Who knows? There's one last chance. There are some tactics. WJ Loof is here. My Skype. I don't want to talk about Skype, but my Skype is a disaster. Even before Elon Musk made fun of it. But my Twitch, Skype, they're both 5-letter words that make no real sense. Spassky. Asked me, what are you talking about? Spassky's still alive, which is really cool. How many living world champions are there, if you don't count like absurd FIDE knockout world champions? Alright, Karpov, Spassky. But of all the world champions, I probably paid least attention to Spassky in my own analysis of the game. I was hoping I had some sort of tactic here. What point did it have in putting my bishop on c5? First d6 and then c5. I was just talking about Spassky versus Korchnoi, candidates final in 1977-78. It was a messed up match because, like, Korchnoi was up +4, and then, or he was up +5 or something ridiculous, and then he lost like 4 games in a row at one point, and it was totally up in the air again. That's pretty crazy. I've got almost an hour left. Challenges from Drew Gold, Cheesy Noob. Zen Chess is here. Up late or up early? This is a weird game. I'm just experimenting with the French again. But it felt like I wasted massive amount of time there. Bishop d6. Why not just play bishop c5 check in the first place? Didn't make a lot of sense. He's trying to set up the Acer mate. What? Unheard of. Violent criminal that must be kept under lock and key. That is the passed pawn. So you play your French defense, you immediately get your... I immediately get the nightmare. He's so fast. What do I do? Help. It's an endless draw. I hate Smiro must be... He's a pro at like pre-moving or something. So fast. Makes me sad. He constantly has 15 seconds more than me, no matter how fast I try to move. So he basically doesn't have to spend any time on his moves. How do you do that? It's not fair. You never have to spend any time on your moves. It's a draw. Whatever. There's nothing I can do. Maybe you're trying to win. You're trying to win? Wow. That's crazy. This is the ideal rook position. Play for the win. It's the worst possible rook position. Damn, dude, you're too fast for me. I'm winning, maybe. Maybe not. You tried to lose it, but here I don't know what to do. It was just a draw. I was never winning. Wow. Yeah, I was a little better at a couple points. I was a lot better earlier. Wow. The computer like says black's clearly better here. See, that's my lack of experience in the French. Like, I don't even know that I'm clearly better. This is crazy. I literally have no practice in the French. I mean, I have a good pawn on d5. Black's +2. I would never imagine that black was +2 here. +1 max. You know, better. What happened in the opening? Bishop a4. See, there's only one game this has ever been played. A random game in 2016. What is that? You got me, man. Bandandol. Bishop a4. So what am I supposed to play? Jan Worrell played bishop d6, but I was afraid of queen g4. Honestly. Apparently it's not very good. Huh. Wow. See, I thought, like, what do I do here? I looked at knight f6. Queen takes g7, rook g8. Queen h6, rook takes g2. It's a good Najdorf. Bishop d3. Man, the guy found that move over the board. That's not easy to find. Queen c7. Yeah, he threw me off with bishop a4. What the heck is that? That's not in Geary's course on the French. You're not going to see about bishop a4. I guess I thought I would play bishop c5 if I had it to do over again. It's better than what I did. Yeah, it's a playable move. Good game. But I just don't have enough time. You're faster than me. I need like a 5-second increment to play properly. Alright. Schieberspieler, welcome. But Schieber, you don't really play the French much, right? You do, though. Do you or don't you? Schieber, are you going to play over the board chess? B3. It's like random rain cloud. It wasn't even supposed to rain today. What the heck? Every time it rains, I have to close the skylights in my apartment. And it just like randomly starts raining. Oh man, are you serious? There was no rain on the forecast at all for today. Are you kidding me? Schieberspieler, if you start playing the Pirch, you can be like Yasser Seirawan with that repertoire. Here. Yeah, it's suddenly there's a rain. Where did this come from? The magic rain just appeared. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I checked the forecast this morning and there was like no rain forecast at all. And now it's like 86% chance. Yeah, I know. That's because it's raining. Very good forecasting. Thank you for that deep idea. They're like predicting it after it came already. They get paid, that's why they pay them the big bucks. Forecasting the rain that's already here. Very accurate. So, this was an interesting approach by white, like the b3, bishop b2 to counter my bishop on g7. Not bad. I have to develop my pieces at some point. This seems weird. At this stage, my bishop on g4, kind of weird. I'm not sure I want to trade that off, honestly. I guess it depends on my opponent, you know, how strong my opponent would be. It's tempting to bring it back and just say, alright, I changed my mind. But I guess objectively I should trade pieces with less space here. Now white is, you know, that's pretty cool. Very subtle, the b3. He played b3 before my, exactly, b3 before my g6, which is even weirder. He's like, no, wait. No. He played it on move 4. You're incorrect. He played it in response to g6. If he played it before g6, that would be mind reading. Although I might have played a previous game where I did some similar setup and white was basing it off that. e5. Okay, e5 loses a pawn. Can't do that. You were watching Troy beat Data in chess. Wait. There was an episode where Riker beat Data too. Maybe I'm thinking the same one. Are we nerds or what? We're talking about Star Trek The Next Generation. Mr. Coffee's not even here. I have takes. I mean, I don't have to take right away. Knight b8, triple exclam, with the idea of knight c6. No, it's too exaggerated. I don't know, man. I mean, this is just a position. It's just a position. It's equal. Fine. Yeah, it's pretty weird, man. The writers of The Next Generation, even back then. Okay, that was before Kasparov got crushed by Deep Blue. So there was still this naive hope that humans might have some unique capability that computers couldn't defeat. It kind of makes sense, actually, with that generation. What was it, like early 90s? There was still hope for humans to beat computers. But honestly, even then, you know, an average person who's like Commander Riker or whatever, who's not like a chess master, would have no chance against a Radio Shack computer. So in that sense, it is very weird. Even in those days. A5. No. Right. Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, let's put it this way. Like, the computers were getting quite strong in like, the early 90s. Best chess computers were starting to beat grandmasters. They had this event at Harvard called the Harvard Cup when I was studying in Boston, where they pitted like different computers against Kasparov and Karpov and all these celebrity chess players, local grandmasters, and it was starting to get interesting. But the historical significance of it is quite complex. Code.exe. No. What is that? How combative, like, different opponents are? A way of classifying? Did you watch my stream when I was talking about how aggressive different opponents were or something? Is that related to that? Damn, this guy is super fast too. What is the deal? Everyone that I play is like, wow. Yeah, he's just like Mr. Practical, wants to play fast. Time is not as important as position, dude. Too much emphasis on time, again. But he's amazingly solid. LaForge was supposed to be a chess master in the show? What? I don't remember that. I thought I saw like almost every episode. I must have missed some. Well, I missed some, definitely. But I've seen like 90% of the Star Trek episodes. "90% is not enough." White's play is virtually perfect. Low risk. Now C4. Also a strong move. His play, like, structurally perfect. He's an 1800. Actually, he's 2000 in rapid. 1800 bullet. It's just a draw. Another standard draw. I guess I shouldn't have sacrificed a minute going to close the windows against this guy. I didn't realize how strong and fast he is. It's like a perfect game by White. No mistakes whatsoever. I'm gonna have to like grovel for a draw in your 1800. That's a little over the top. This is technically lost? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Why would it be technically lost? Dude, if you're gonna make statements, like, you gotta back them up with facts. It's not technically lost. Like many rooking games, it's probably a draw a pawn down. I mean, it's possible I was lost in some position at some point in this game, but I think that moment was definitely a draw. Let's see what the Oracle says. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Sometimes too much information can be a bad thing. Every position is different, but it looks like black was never lost here. You need to study other endgame books. No, black was never lost. All right, Walter White, 2379. Zen Chess, Dracofire, Murales. And Ramus is leaving. I'm fairly good at technical endgames. I would admit if I was lost, but it's not. He was limited. White had not the greatest king position. Yeah, next stream is on Sunday. Mad Ramus. We'll see you then, hopefully. This is like my epic game when I lost to Sebe with like 10 minutes against 2. I was white in this position. That was embarrassing. Walter White plays exactly like I do. However, here I might need to play e6. We can't be having like e5, e6. It's an alien invasion. Alien Rain. Thanks earlier for the bit donation from WJLU, 500 bits. Speaking of alien invasions, the Twilight Zone was just filled with alien episodes. I watched another one last night where these guys like landed on an alien planet. Then they saw their own ship crashed and they were dead. They were already dead and they didn't know it. That's applicable to some chess games we've seen. Alright, now what? A lot of times one of us is dead and we don't know it. Or don't accept it. Very possible I didn't analyze this far enough, but I suppose black is probably okay. But I'm not a true modern defense player. Every game we play, Acerbate. Sounds like that. Every game you play. Alright. Just a joke. A little sting joke. Knight d7. Bishop f4. Bishop takes f3. Pawn f3. Knight c6. And we win a pawn. Maybe not. Maybe not. Code.exe, I have the feeling you wouldn't believe me if I told you, so I'm not going to bother. But most endgames around that evaluation are drawn. That's why I said it. Well, anyway, intuitively I thought it was a draw. Typically, that's not enough to win. Alright, let's get off the subject of that. Why watch a chess streamer if you don't believe him? What he says. I mean, Schieberspieler here agrees as well. Like, he's about 2600 in rapid chess here. About the same strength as me. We both think that that's a draw, but you don't agree. The Stockfish says it's 1.4. Most endgames under 1.5 are always drawn. You won't read that in Dvoretsky. I'm going to get off the diagonal. See, there were traps based on this long diagonal. So if I take on e5, he takes, I take, he plays f4, and then wins the exchange. All. I take it back. All endgames with evaluation of less than 1.5 are drawn. I'm not going to argue with you. You just want to argue to be like an argumentative troll? Do what you want, dude. I'm gonna time you out for being argumentative for the sake of being argumentative. Detracting from the stream. If you don't want to listen, don't watch the stream. I don't know what to say. Walter has sacrificed a pawn. All endgames are drawn with less than 1.5 valuation. He's like nitpicking words with me. No, I don't mean like most. I mean all. Alright, all. If the evaluation is under 1.5, the opponent is not winning. 100%. 1.4 is like not enough to win. It's ridiculous. Why are you arguing with me about that? My opponent offered a draw. Alright, fine. Draw. Wait, that's compensation for the sacrificed pawn. The mysterious Walter White. I'm getting kind of irritated. White is actually worse here, but it's not easy for black to win. Again, he's not lost. See, it's like 0.8 or 1.3. I was just getting irritated. Alright, Zen chess. I don't mind having discussions, but if you're going to just keep coming back with the same, just for the sake of arguing, I'm going to time you out. It's almost like people just want to troll me. There was no question, okay? The rook in game was not winning. It's ridiculous and a moot point. Bishop b5. If we're winning in a rook in game, and the evaluation is going to be like +2 or something, pretty solid. Zen chess, you play everything now. The Rossalimo. The Rossalimo is a problem for black. I think I have to stop playing d6. There's some problems there. Schieberspieler played that one line that you play is problematic. Takes right away. Yep. I just can't stand it when people just continuously argue about anything. You've seen a +5 in rook in game? Well, I mean, it depends on what you're analyzing with. On like a Nokia, it can be +5. Sometimes Astrobate puts games up. Then he like analyzed on his mobile phone or something, where it says like +5. Obviously, it depends on what you're analyzing it with, but that's amazing if it's true. Most rooking games are draws. E5 right away. Wow. What did Feingold say? Feingold. Well, I mean, that's the way I used to draw with computers back in the day. I was just talking to I would draw positions that were like -1.5 or more, like routinely against. That's why, especially weaker engines, they don't understand. They would go right into a drawn endgame and think they were winning, and still there's that tendency. That's the number one way I would draw, even in the late 90s, early 2000s, when I was still playing computers. You could reliably hold a draw against computers by getting them to eat material and go into situations exactly like that. Be willing to sacrifice a pawn the computer couldn't evaluate, properly. It thinks it's winning, but it's not. Precisely. Okay, what happens on d6? Get out of my house. Knight to c4. So we keep in mind that the Zen chess is our Junior Nimzovich. He's a member of the Junior Nimzovich Club of Greater Kansas. Castle's f4. So the interesting question is like e5, f4. Do you want to play e5 or not? He went to Boy Scouts and Junior Nimzovich Club. But I've got e5, Eagle Nimzovich Scouts, e5, f4, knight g4. If I was in a good mood, I wish I was in a good mood. I was grumpy from the beginning of the morning. Windows updates are always a good day. That's a good way for getting your day started. I love me some Windows updates. E5, F4. God damn it. E5, F4. What about knight to D5? E5, F4. Why don't I just take it? He's basically playing the B3 Sicilian. Astaby, you're never grumpy. Darn. After all that, he plays a move I didn't even consider. Speaking of Spassky, he was like talking about Spassky earlier. Oh. This is just insanely genius for white. Aspirate, you are not grumpy. You don't even know the meaning of grumpy. Knight d5, you're the only person I know who's always in a good mood. Like, and sincerely. I hate those people who are like fake. They're always pretending they're in a good mood. I think legitimately Aspirate is always in a good mood. Windows 10 has a feature called Math Solver. Oh my god, what am I doing? Knight g4. I hate this position. It's a nightmare. Jeez. Agnes Karadusky, wow. Subscribe with Prime. 19 months. Thankness. Dude is playing, god damn it, he's Spassky. Can you stop already? It's Spassky Nimzovich hybrid. Spassky Nimzovich hybrid day. Wow. So much for Zen Chess playing the Open Sicilian. Winning for black. Yeah, I wish. White is better. It's unbelievable. These knights are like immovable. You can't do anything about it, and there's pressure on my d6 pawn. What am I going to do? If you combine Zen Chess and like a computer, it would be unbeatable. He would make an awesome centaur or something. He makes like these little inaccuracies that ruin his perfect position from time to time. That human element just really messes him up. Oh, this hurts. It hurts to play this position. I hate this position. Jesus. I'd rather have my fingernails pulled out. Alright, I'm gonna take. I can't deal with this anymore. Whatever. I think he had better. Alright. Mirales. Yeah, he's made like some tiny inaccuracies. His crushing position went from like almost winning to slightly better due to frivolous inaccuracies. I think he was like almost strategically won, honestly. Now it looks like black can hold. Of course, this doesn't do anything. I'm still wondering about the meaning of life here. I've had enough, dude. I've really had enough. I'm just gonna bail out and try to draw. He'll sit there and go like rook b1, rook b3. If I try to play normally, quote unquote, I could just have no plan after a while. Zen Chess is a chess god. solid 2280 rapid. I think he's slightly underrated yet. Plus you add the speed factor in. He's extremely fast too. Now his A pawn is no longer hanging in all the key variations. Yeah, I can't move that fast. It was like a perfect game. He made inaccuracies. I just flagged. 20 cent upon loss, 1 mistake for white the whole game. 23 cent upon loss, 4 inaccuracies for black. I just lost on time. I mean, the rook's coming to the 7th, and I was going to play the right move, but I was checking, and I was freaking out about the key variation. E4, take, take. Take, take, check was my problem. I would have played king f6, probably. And I was worried about this ending. It's another one of those drawn rooking games where black has to play perfectly, but it's not lost. But impressive play by white. I mean, 1 mistake, no inaccuracies in a 29 move game. Amazingly, he was clearly worse. Now, how is he clearly worse if he's made no inaccuracies? How does that make sense? I missed knight h5, but I was afraid of knight e4. But of course, I can play d5. So that's the point. I would find that move if I had a little more time. I'm looking at this idiotic 95, 94. Of course, knight h5. But why didn't you play f4? Zenchess didn't want to. He didn't want to blow it open. Wow, that's a mistake. I have a tactic with knight d5 there for reals, it looks like. He's too underdeveloped. So everybody says that I'm better. But I just missed it. I had to play knight h5. Guys, time for one last game. Yeah, I mean, I know this is a mistake, but I already am, like, worried about my time. I didn't have a plan. I just didn't see knight h5. Such a natural move. This is inane. Spassky. This is a standard Spassky-esque move. f3. Alright, I just flagged in a slightly unpleasant position there. Yeah, here, let's see. White's better, clearly better, but not winning. And I understood I had to play e4. Alright, Astrobate, last game. Come on. Let's see the challenge. You're not playing enough kids. What does that have to do with playing kids? I mean, as a King's Indian player and a player who plays a lot of Roslimos, there's no excuse for not playing knight h5 or not even looking at it. I don't know. sometimes I'm just like blind. Yesterday I had a game against, or Sunday, we analyzed yesterday a game from last Sunday where I could have played g6 against Sumaher and just threatened bishop f5, skewering a queen and rook. And it was a normal type of move, and it never even occurred to me. Same thing here. I seem to have like blind spots. Normally I would see that idea. Just feel rushed, not enough time. Disallowing the structure was amazing. I expected him to play f takes, but he just takes this way. Clearly is fine. Well, it's nothing about knight e4, Coach ought not to be argumentative, but I mean, I expected him to play knight e4. But I don't know why I looked at knight d5 and I didn't look at knight h5. That's what I don't understand, you know. I guess I was looking at this type of stuff over here more. There may be some variations where my knight has another path. Obviously d5 is better square, it's like centralized. Knight h5 is on the side of the board. But I'm just trying to understand why I don't see this move. Zenchess is like, I didn't notice that bishop takes c4 was possible. But I mean, you're still clearly better after that. Do you really need to play d5? I don't have to, but... No, I don't have to, Schieberspieler. But I was like getting low on time. I wanted to simplify. But the problem is when we start putting our rooks like here, 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 you know, we're going to get to this type of thing where he plays like bishop a5. And then what am I going to do? If we start like fighting for the b file, my problem is that I lose, you know, the battle eventually with bishop a5. This is the reason why I play d5. What's my other option? You know, he's going to start doing this, this, and then this. So what do I do instead? Like, I didn't see another way of playing. Like, just maybe give up the b file. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, this is my only break. If I don't do that, I don't know what to do. Maybe I have some weird move, you know, here. My queen has to keep the pawn protected. I could play like rook f7, rook b1, rook here. Then he plays rook b3. This kind of scenario is like, what the heck do I do now? You know, I'm just stuck. And eventually white's going to play like rook b1. Alright, Asterbait, last game. I'm forcing Asterbait to play. Guys, I gotta go. We're going to be back on Sunday. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Agnes Karadewski. Thanks to WJ Loof. Continuously donating to support the stream. Dragon is live. Okay. The streets, live from the streets of Budapest. Come on, Asterbait, I want to see your best game. If he doubles on the b file, we have to captures, and we can go for a normal draw, I think. Right, but we'd be improving his pawn structure. When we play rook takes b3, he's going to capture on b3, and then his c-pawn won't be isolated anymore. I mean, that was my problem. I figured I might as well play d5. Asterbait Todorov. That's not good, man. Thank you for the pawn. I'm forcing Asterbait to play, even though he wasn't mentally prepared for it. Mentally or physically. Queen takes h6, pawn takes d5, h4. Not enough. Must retreat. It's not fair to make Asabe play when it's like 6 in the morning there. But after losing to Zen Chess, I want to take out my frustrations on someone. Alright. Here, the Zen Chess. Queen b4 is the end with complications. Queen b4? I don't accept that. Don't want your stinking knight. Well, Sheba Spiller gave him a bad move. No, I think he already had that idea on his own. But it wasn't fair to make him play. He's not in the mood. Alright, man, I'm sorry I made you play. We should delete that from the match history. I didn't realize you were out of commission. Alright, yeah, bishop h6 is not good. What would possess you to do bishop h6? Just pawn takes pawn. Or d4, or c6. All of the above are okay. Alright guys, I gotta run. We'll see you on Sunday for simul stream. Thanks everybody. Maybe I'll raid Dragon 70. Why don't I see him though? Is he live now?